Welcome back to day 4 of my Irelia improvement journey. Today uh, got a little bit away from me. I noticed like today I didn't have gym. So usually the gym, it was a rest day today, and usually the gym takes up a lot of my time. And I noticed if I have more free time, I'm much more likely to slack. Like the first 3 days, I was really busy. I had little downtime to myself, and so I really stayed on task and was doing everything I needed to. But today, when I had less to do, I was slacking a bit. So in the future, when I have days with a little bit less workload, I'm gonna really make sure to stick to all my tasks and yeah, make sure that I'm getting everything done that I need to. That being said, I'm still gonna stick to everything that I said I was gonna do today. So yeah, we're just gonna have to run this a little bit for your sake and for mine. So, day 4. Now, yesterday I talked a lot about mid game and a lot about how I was gonna play more in side lane and some other stuff. It was a really good episode. I recommend watching that to learn a little bit more about the current state of Irelia mid game. But I think kind of what I realized today is I just need more time to get the feel for Irelia again, and I don't want to make too many conclusions yet. I'd rather just spend a little bit more time working on Irelia and, kind of figuring out where to go, and just getting the overall feel again rather than getting too specific. And today my mechanical inputs felt really good today. My queues felt very, very clean. I was queuing quite well. My mouse accuracy is not where it used to be, but my APM is feeling really high right now. So I'm gonna have to make sure to keep that up. But yeah, let's just get right into the first review. Okay, so you'll see a little bit of a trend throughout these reviews here, and that is the gold difference that I'm getting right now. And so in this game, 1.1k gold lead. This game, 3k gold lead. This game, double gold on mid, over twice as much gold as the enemy. This game, almost double the gold lead. This game, up 3k gold. This game, up 500 gold, but you'll see what happened this game. I got completely hard camped. So clearly there's something going on here where if I'm not able to convert 3k gold leads, and these were all my games today, by the way, this is not me cherry picking. This is each one of my Irelia games today. So if I'm not able to convert these gold leads, clearly I am doing something wrong. We'll talk a little bit about that in the individual reviews because I kind of have an idea of what's going on. So for the first review, we have Irelia versus Yone. So this was a little bit of a funny game. Um, I kind of stomped him pretty hard early, and then he ended up picking up a lot of kills, and later on it was quite hard to fight, even though we had a pretty good team comp, I felt like. But yeah, it was a bit harder to fight later on, especially with the Lulu, the Elise, the Cho'Gath. They had pretty good lockdown for me. So my first note was at 10:30. Um, so here, basically to give some context, Um, we knew Lulu had been sitting here mid, and she showed here, she warded, but then she didn't return to bot. So here, in my head, she's still going to be hovering. I should treat it like she's here until we visibly see her bot, unless I think I can 2v1, which at the moment with ult is pretty hard. So here, yeah, I'm gonna, what I try and do here is just fight Yone a little bit and basically make Lulu stick around. Because if I say, okay, Lulu's here, I'm just going to run to my tower, Lulu's not going to stick around. So I just want to maximize the amount of time I waste. So I end up wasting a bit of time. But then here, I just feel like there's no way she's still going to be here. Enemy, like, because I delayed Lulu getting back to lane, we were able to dive bot. So I was like, there's no way she's still going to be here. And she was here. And this was really close. Um, I probably shouldn't have queued into cancel the R. I should have just played it a little bit slower and I would have actually been able to 2v1 this. But yeah, I should have just been more patient here. The next point is at 1410. So at 1410, I pushed this wave and I TP'd bot to take this wave. Now, I don't think it's the worst use of TP getting the tempo and getting these extra waves and the tower. But I think it could have been optimized a little bit. I think I could have maximized the value of this TP rather than just uh, TPing for this. Now, because I did TP, the tempo I got from it, I was able to get the tower. I'm not sure if I would have actually been able to get the tower if I just ran bot. Um, so maybe it's not the worst TP, but I'd rather save my TP considering I'm already bot side and we're playing for Drake. So the next node is at 2012. Yeah, so here, again, actually another TP. I pushed out bot and yeah, we were having a bit of a fight here. Yone runs mid and I thought I needed to TP here, but I didn't really take into account how high HP the tower was and how low HP Yone was. So looking back here, there's no way they can take the tower. Kog'Maw can just wave clear and save the tower without this TP. I could literally just be getting bot tier 2 right now, and that would be a massive gold boost. So this was a really big blunder. Then at 22:14, I did a bit of a mechanical misplay. I wanted to go for a little bit of a limit test here. Now, I would have won this if I was just a bit more patient with the wave. And yeah, I mean, it's obvious, but obvious to me, I was just missing that Irelia feel. So yeah, if I had just been a little bit more patient here, waited for the wave to come, I would have easily won this. But yeah, I rushed it a bit. So yeah, let's go on to review 2. Okay, so going straight into review 2. Again, this game, I'm gonna be up 3k gold, and we end up losing this game. So yep, that's a bit of a tragedy. First node is at 911. What was yeah, so I ended up getting ganked here. This isn't too valuable a note, but it's nice to see when these limits are possible. Already here, I think I can be face checking here when the objective's coming up. I think I could react to this Zed and actually hold W here and just block all that damage. And then if I do, I can easily 2v1 this. It was played well, but what I'd have to do here is instantly flash the Sylas E, and then with this double E, then I would be able to actually outplay with the damage I have. But because I didn't flash the Sylas E, and I saw the Sylas E coming, I just didn't anticipate it, and yeah, it's pretty obvious it's coming. So I just have to be looking to flash that next time. Then the next one is at 16:45. Let me find that. Yep, so at 16:45 here, basically what happens is I TP bot, which I think is a fine TP because we're going to play for Drake here and this guy pushed the wave and this is a potential kill. So I push I TP here, we pick up the Sylas. After I get chunked out like this and we still potentially want to play for Drake, I should just reset. Even if we're giving this Drake, I should just reset anyway and redeploy bot. I don't want to stick around at this HP. You could make the argument that maybe in a different scenario I could stay to heal off the wave, but in this case it's just not plausible to heal off the wave, so yeah, pretty big mistake there. Then at 18:38, yeah, this was a positive note that I had, and this was a little bit coming from yesterday's reviews. Today there were a lot of moments where I did feel the benefit of yesterday's learnings. This was an example of one where I didn't really push and move. I just stayed bot, got this tower, got this wave, got the Gromp, and yeah, I just wanted to make this note because this felt really good in game. Yeah, it definitely felt like a positive change. So yeah, the next one is at 22:53. This was a bit of a skirmishing one. I thought here in this choke point we could fight it with Kog'Maw, but they were already running away, so I shouldn't have used my E here, and because I used my E in this fight, I would have actually just killed everyone here with my E. If I could just E right now, hit the double E, I could easily win this fight. So yeah, pretty big mistake. Obviously, I can't anticipate the fight evolving like this, but it's good to be in the habit of being more patient with your E and waiting for really the right moments. So let's go into game 3. Okay guys, so speeding into game 3 here, we have a little bit of what could be interpreted as a tragedy or a comedy. Again, double double gold lead, and this is at 14 minutes. So and we lose this game as well. So let's see here. I only had one note for this game, and this is just again going into that mindset of just being more okay with losing these games, I guess, and just viewing the game bigger picture and just, you know, take it slower with this journey. I don't have to improve at everything all at once. I can just take it a bit slower, regain the Irelia feel that I once had while my mechanics are really good right now. And, just with some of the limit testing, with some of the maybe like more fighty playstyle I'm going for right now, I think that's just going to benefit me as well. I don't necessarily have to, um, you know, completely change how completely change everything based off 4 days of learning. I need to be a little bit more free flow with it. So in this game, I had one note here because honestly, up until this point, I played this game really well. This was a genuinely hard game up until the point, you know, I'm obviously 13 out of 17 KP, so it was genuinely a hard game. Um, this was a big mistake of mine though. So basically, what happens here is I take top wave and I reset. I redeploy bot with Drake spawning soon. I wanted to fight this Drake if we could. My team engages before I'm there, which is a bit annoying. So what I decide to do is, okay, Drake's coming up, we can trade this off. And I'll just play for top tier 2. Again, kind of a learning that we got from yesterday. But here, what I didn't really take into account is that the Drake just started, not spawning, but it's a minute till Drake. So they can easily rotate top here after this TP and still get Drake. So the TP was just way too early. I think what I should have done here, honestly, is back here. Well, at this fight, I can easily take this next wave. I'm not going to take the tower, but I can take this wave and then TP. Whereas here, and then that would just give me a little bit more time, a little bit of a buffer before Drake. And yeah, I mean, I think it's a good TP regardless because I want to save the top tower. I want to get this wave, but it's just a bit too early. So yeah, that was the only note from this game. Let's go to the next game. Okay, so these have been some pretty rapid fire reviews. And again, another game. I'm up almost double his gold this game, and we lose this game. This game, I can't blame my team at all. This was genuinely my fault, but we'll go a bit into that. So just some mechanical notes here. The first is at 722. So here, I'm engaging on the Viktor because I have here I realize that with the wave on my side and I'm getting level I'm 1 minion away, so I just Q in, I go for the E, walk behind him to get the R in front, angled in front, and now I just want to kite a little bit to the side of his zone. I don't want to get stunned. Notice here as well, this is something that I've gotten better at over the last few days, getting back into queuing on minions rather than Viktor. So here, basically what I did is I just missed an auto here. I could have gotten one extra auto before this Q, consuming the mark. And then with this W, I held this W too early, sorry. Basically what I should do here is I should just react to the Viego W, and I also shouldn't be kiting the Viktor backwards. I should just, I'm so fed here compared to these two. I should just play this with more confidence and kite forward. And then as the Viego W's midair, that's when I would W, hold it, and then my Q would one-shot. But because I held it too early, now Viktor's out of my Q range, and so this gets a bit awkward here. Because I do eventually end up being able to Q him because he missed spaces. And then here I want to hit the Viego to keep my stacks up. But I have to walk behind Pike to block the W. He manages to flash the Q. Then I just kind of try and auto space him while my Q is coming up, and then I can one-shot him. So yeah, that was a little bit of some mechanical things. There wasn't too much to look at in this VOD, so yeah, let's go to the next VOD. All right, so this is going to be the last of the main portion of the VODs for today. We still have an Irelia versus Orianna, but I played this lane really well, and I wanted to feature this kind of matchup anyway. I want to start featuring some more mage matchups. I was potentially gonna feature the Syndra matchup, but it was a little bit, it lacked a little bit of replicality. That's even a word, in my opinion. So replicability. There we go. But yeah, I think this Orianna matchup was much more replicable in how the Oriana played it and how I played it. So this is the one I'm going to feature for today. But yeah, getting into the Irelia versus Galio, this was my smallest gold advantage today of only 500, and you'll see why momentarily. Um, so in this game, I got caught out by two really strange ganks, and I'll explain why they're strange. So the first one was at 316. Now, yes, you could say this is well played because basically what I do here is I go for a good level 2 ward here, which is good because I'm playing against Zinzao. He has pretty good early gank threat, especially with the Galio. So I don't want to make it too easy to get ganked here at level 3. Um, but what ends up happening is he loops around. Now, you could say this is well played, but I still feel like this is a really weird gank timing because of how late it is. This is at 258. I it's so I haven't I don't think I've seen this gank on mid in like 100 200 games. It's been so long since I've seen this sort of gank. Not just the loop around gank, but just it being so late. Just makes it very weird. So here I was trading and intuitively I just didn't feel like there could be a gank right now, so I felt pretty safe and I didn't expect this, so I got caught off guard. Then the next gank is at 451, and what you'll notice here, he just so to again give a bit of context, Zinzao ganks bot here. So in my mind, what he was going to do here is he was going to take Scuttle and reset. Because his top camps were respawning, and you want to take your camps off the map as quickly as possible. What I didn't factor in here though is that he only has 15 CS, which means that he didn't do any of his bot camps. Now the problem with that is he might stay around on the map after Scuttle because of that, and then that's potentially a gank window. Now, I still think it's a very weird gank timer, and I don't want to be like that, but I did check afterwards, and these guys were duoed, so I honestly believe these ganks wouldn't happen if these weren't duo partners because these are just really weird ganks, quite honestly. All his top camps are respawning right now. Dragon's respawning, and he's just delaying his tempo like this. It's honestly really bad from him. And yes, it works, but I just feel like it's so flip. This would never happen if they weren't duo. But yeah, I mean, there was an element of learning to this one because it wasn't like he did it. If I had seen Zin do a full clear, like all 6 of his camps, then take Scuttle Crab, then he's much more likely to reset. But because he didn't do, he had to, after Scuttle, he had to do potentially some of his bot camps. Then maybe there's a window to get ganked from bot. So there's some learning there. Alright guys, that does it for today's review. I'm still going to review one more game today, which is the Irelia versus Oriana. As you can see, I completely stomped her in lane. So if you want to see that review, go and check out the featured matchup video. That's really good for pretty much anyone trying to improve their lane phase. I think I played that lane really well. So yeah, for the takeaways for today, after yesterday's video, I kind of realized that, like I said in the intro, I just need to be a little bit more free flow. I don't want to constrain myself too much right now with um, these learning objectives or kind of areas of improvement that are set in stone. I just want to have a more overall improvement when it comes to my Irelia, and just take it a bit more easily. I still have to build up a lot of that feel, and you don't really build feel well when you're putting a lot of focus into one area of the game. You build up feel when you're kind of just taking the game as it comes and just being okay with what happens. Then with that being said, side laning did feel really good, and so that's something that I'm gonna continue working towards, is playing more from the side lane, and being less push and move. Even today we saw I think two examples where I could have continued to push in lane. There were some examples where I tried to push more in lane, like Irelia versus Sylas, I believe it was. Or no, that whatever it was. I took bot tier 2 and I took the wave in Gromp. And from that I got a lot stronger and I was able to come out on the map and feel really strong. There was another game where I tried to TP top too early to trade off the Drake, and that failed. But I think that was the right call, it just a bit misexecuted. So, yeah, side laning felt really great. Uh, and I'm going to continue working towards that. And then the final note that kind of goes along with my current approach to Irelia is patience. Because yes, it's great to, try and take a variety of fights and limit test a little bit more, but limit testing only works when you're actually limit testing a limit, not being completely absurd. And today there were multiple times when in my head I was like, I'm limit testing, but then I thought for a second and I thought that's just a rationalization. That's not what's actually happening. You're just fooling yourself if you think this is limit testing. This is just boredom more than anything. So I'm gonna try and limit test within reason and take fights that make sense. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.